In just a moment, and we do have some song sheets this evening, but tonight, first we'll begin in the Siddur, in the prayer book, and we appreciate those joining in online. We're turning to page 5 for the Shalom Aleichem in the Siddur, page number 5. It needs to be reiterated because sometimes we take things for granted. But Shalom Aleichem is a song originating as a poem. And the poem brings forth a symbolic message that angels are joining us. And as I consider this, maybe it's 1,000 years ago, what would have prompted a poet to have crafted such a work as to say that angels are joining us? Angels are joining us in song. And I answer my own question by saying, there must be something dramatic about our being together that establishes an atmosphere of welcome for angels. That's why angels are here in the Shalom Aleichem, because of what you and I bring together to this room. So it's Shalom Aleichem on page number 5. Shalom Aleichem Malachei Ashoret Malachei Elyon Mi Melech Malachei Hamlochim HaKadosh Baruch Hu Boachem L'Shalom Malachei Shalom Malachei Elyon Mi Melech Malachei Hamlochim HaKadosh Baruch Hu Baruch Hu Nile Shalom Malachei HaShalom Malachei Elyon Mi Melech Malachei Hamlochim HaKadosh Baruch Hu Seitchem L'Shalom Malachei HaShalom Malachei Elyon Mi Melech Malachei Hamlochim HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Turning now to page number 11, L'chun Ranana, the opening psalm, on page number 11 in the Siddur. L'chun Ranana Adonai Nari Aletzur Yishenu Nikan Mafana B'Torah Bizmiro Nari Alo Nikan Mafana B'Torah Bizmiro Nari Alo Ki El Gadol Adonai Umelech Gadol Al Kol Elohim Asher Be'ado Mekerei Aretz V'toafot Harim Lo Asher Be'ado Mekerei Aretz V'toafot Harim Lo. Let us go and sing to Adonai. Let us trumpet praise to our protector. Filled with thanks, let us greet God, raising our voice in song. Great is Adonai, a greater sovereign than all other deities. God's hands form the earth's deep. Mountain crests, too, are God's work. The sea is God's, for God made it. Dry land was fashioned by God's hands. Come then, let us bow and kneel. Let us bend our knees in the presence of Adonai, who formed us. Arba'im shana kut v'dor v'omar to'elev avhem b'hem lo yidu drachai. Asher nishbati v'yapi im yavon el menuchati. On page 14, on the English side. Drawn from the Psalms, welcoming Shabbat, we're thinking of the beauty of the world. Bow to Adonai in the glory of this holy place. Tremble before God's presence, all who dwell on earth. Announce among the nations, Adonai reigns. The land is firm and will not be moved. Peoples will be truthfully judged. The heavens shall be glad and the earth rejoice. The sea and its fullness roar. The meadows and all that grows in them exult. Even the trees of the forest shall sing praise, as Adonai comes to judge the earth, judging lands with righteousness and peoples with divine truth. And look at page 18, echoing this theme on page number 18. Call out to Adonai, all the earth. Break out in joyful singing. Sing to Adonai to the music of the lyre. Lyre and voices making music together. With horns and shofar cries, trumpet the presence of the sovereign Adonai. Let the sea and all that is in it roar. The earth and all who inhabit it thunder. Let rivers clap hands while mountains sing in harmony, greeting Adonai who comes to judge the earth, judging the world with justice and the nations with truth. The world is singing with us today, Erev Shabbat. So look at this song sheet. The words are from Louis Armstrong. This is an audio. I think most of us know What a Wonderful World by Louis Armstrong, singing about what a beautiful world. It's Erev Shabbat.
I see trees of green. I see them blue for me and you. And I think to myself, what a wonderful world. I see skies of blue, clouds of white, bright blessed days, dark sacred nights. And I think to myself, what a wonderful world. The colors of the rainbow, so pretty in the skies, also on the faces of people going by. I see friends shaking hands, saying, how do you do? They're really saying, I love you. I hear babies crying. I watch them grow. They'll learn much more than I'll ever know. To myself, what a wonderful world. Yes, I think to myself,
What a wonderful world. We live in a wonderful world. Let's remember it every single day. On page 22, this is a mystical little meditation preparing us for L'Charudi. It's called Ana V'Choach, and it's constructed in Hebrew in what's called an alphabetical acrostic pattern. On page 22, every word begins with the next letter of the alphabet. Ana is an aleph, B'Choach is a bet, Gedula is a gimel, and so on. First, just the first line in the English on page 22, and then the melody, and then L'Charudi. So just the first line on English on top of page 22. If you would, may your mighty right hand undo the knot that ties us up. Ana B'Choach. Untie that knot. Page 23, the first three stanzas. Page 25, the concluding three stanzas of L'Charudi. L'Chadodi likrat kala penei Shabbat nikabela. L'Chadodi likrat kala penei Shabbat nikabela. Shamor v'zachor b'di borechad ishmiyanu elam yuchad Adonai echad ushmo echad l'shem multiferet v'litila. L'Chadodi likrat Kala Penei Shabbat Nikabela Likrat Shabbat L'chov Anelcha Ki Mekor Haberacha Merosh Mikedem Nesucha Sof Maaseh Pon Shabbat Techila Lechadodi Likrat Kala Penei Shabbat Nikabela Mikdash Melech Hir Melecha Kumitzai Mitoch Hafecha Rav Lach Shevet B'Yemek Kabacha V'hu Yachamol Alayachem Allah Lechadodi Lekrat Kala Penei Shabbat Nikabala 25 V'hayolim Shisa Sha'osayach V'racha Kukol Mevalayach Yassis Alayach Elohayach Kim Sos Chatan Al Kala Lechadodi Lekrat Kala Penei Shabbat nekabala yaminu smo tifarotzi vieta donai taritzi al yarish ben partzi v'nismecha v'nagila lechadodi lekrat kala pennei Shabbat nekabala boi v'shalom hateret bala gam besimcha uvetzala tochem munei am segula boi chala lechadodi lekrat kala pennei Shabbat nekabala yada 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 The poetry of this song, which is only 500 years old, describes Shabbat as a queen. And she's entering our presence. So we begin with a song, a poem, Shalom Aleichem, angels gathering. And now Shabbat, pictured as a queen, is here. What is it that brings angels and a queen? And the answer is, it's us. And who are we? Let's turn for a moment to a psalm. It's on page 28. And this is the psalm that's nicknamed the Psalm for Shabbat. And who are we? The last four stanzas, skipping the top stanza, beginning with as a wild bull. As a wild bull raises up its horn, you raised my head high, anointed it with fresh oil. Who's anointed in the ancient days, in the days of Israel, in the ancient days in the Bible? Who's anointed? Kings, prophets, and priests. So you anointed me. So the metaphor is that I have been anointed like a king or a queen or a priest or a prophet. And that's the message of the concluding passage of the psalm associated with Shabbos herself. Keep going. As my enemies gather against me, my gaze remains steady, for my ears listen and hear. What am I hearing? I'm hearing a promise from potentially God's symbolic voice. And the voice of God symbolically is saying, this is who you are. The righteous people flourish like the date palm, thrive like a cedar in Lebanon, planted in the house of Adonai. They flourish in our God's courtyards. In old age, they remain fruitful, still fresh and bountiful, proclaiming Adonai is upright, my rock in whom there is no flaw. So it's these last 2 or 3 stanzas of the Psalm for Shabbat recited every Friday night and every Shabbat morning that tells us who we are. And who we are is, we are the people who have the potential for bringing righteousness into the universe and transforming our world. And that's why angels feel comfortable coming here, and that's why the Queen of Shabbat wants to be here, because of who you and I are. The message of the Psalm, which is in the Siddur, is one of absolute confidence in the who each one of us is and the what the community is. That's what we need to pay attention to every single day. On page 28, it's the last stanza on the Hebrew side and also the phonetic, the transliteration, the red ink. Tzadika tamar yifrach ke'erez balvanon yiska shetulim bebeit Adonai bechatrot Eloheinu yafrichu al yenuvon beseva deshenim verananim yiyu lehagid ki ashar Adonai suri v'lavlatabon. Remaining standing, please, on page number 39B. Page 39B. The first paragraph on the English side, page 39b. Baruch atah Adonai, our God, sovereign of time and space. You completed your work of creation on the seventh day, calling this day from one evening to the next the holy Shabbat, and gave this day of rest and all its holiness to your people Israel, creator of day and night, rolling light before darkness and darkness from light, making day pass and bringing on the evening, distinguishing day from night. Adonai Tzvaot is your name, living and ever-present God. May your rule be with us forever and ever. Baruch atah Adonai, who brings each evening's dusk. El Chai v'Kayam, Tamid Yimloch Alein Olam V'ed. Baruch atah Adonai, Hama'ariv Aravim. We're seated, turning to page number 40 on the English side, please. With timeless love, you have loved your people, the house of Israel. You have taught us Torah and mitzvot, statutes and laws. Therefore, Adonai, our God, as we lie down and as we rise up, we shall speak of your laws, rejoicing in the words of your Torah and in your mitzvot forever and ever. For they are our life and the fullness of our days, and on them we shall meditate day and night. Do not ever withdraw your love from us. Baruch atah Adonai. V'avotecha al tasir mimenu la'olamim. Baruch atah Adonai, ohev amo Yisrael. Page 41, Shema. Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. Ve'ahavta et Adonai Elohecha b'chol lebavcha u'b'chol nafshecha u'b'chol meodecha ve'hayu hadvarim ha'ele asher anochi mitzavecha hayom al levavecha v'shinantam levanecha v'dibarta bam b'shivtecha b'beitecha u'v'lechtecha v'aderech u'v'shachbecha u'v'kumecha u'kishartam la'ot al yadecha v'hayu letotafot bein einecha u'ktavtam al mezuzot beitecha u'visharecha. A few moments of silence, perhaps on page 41 or 42, some of the passages here before us, a moment of silence. Adonai Elohechem emet. Pardon me. And now on page 44, Michamocha, which is the quote from the crossing of the sea. Who else could be like you, God? The plagues, the Exodus, and now crossing the sea in safety and freedom. Who else could be like you? Michamocha on page 44. Michamocha poelim Adonai, Michamocha nedar b'kodesh naratilot osei felem malchutecha ra'uvanecha bokeh yam lifnei Moshe zeli anu v'yamrom Adonai yimloch le'olam va'ed v'ne'emar ki yifad Adonai et Yaakov ugalo miyad chazak mimenu baruch atah Adonai gal Yisrael. Gal means redeemed. It's a fancy word for protection. Michamocha is speaking of God as protecting the people having a sense of safety, of order greater than calm. That's Michamocha. So look at the song sheet before you. It's entitled Rik Rekt Yihiyeh Shalom. Rik Rekt is a more contemporary singer-composer, Rik Rekt, and Yihiyeh Shalom means there will be peace. And these opening stanzas, which are here before us in the transliteration, are presented here. The translation is the bottom of the stanza. That's the translation of what we'll be singing in a moment with Rik Rekt, Yihiyeh Shalom.
כשאנחנו שומעים אחד את השני, כשאנחנו מבינים אחד את השני, כשאנחנו אוהבים אחד את השני, יהיה שלום, יהיה שלום בעולם, יהיה שלום, יהיה שלום, כשאנחנו מאמינים אחד בשני, כשאנחנו עובדים אחד עם השני, כשאנחנו לומדים אחד מהשני, יהיה שלום, יהיה שלום בעולם, יהיה שלום, יהיה שלום, כשאנחנו מאמינים שהשונה הוא יפה, כשאנחנו מאמינים שכולנו משפחה אחת, יהיה שלום, יהיה שלום בעולם, יהיה שלום, יהיה שלום, יהיה שלום, יהיה שלום בעולם, יהיה שלום, יהיה שלום, יהיה שלום, יהיה שלום בעולם, יהיה שלום, יהיה שלום.
Ufros aleinu sukat shlomecha, Baruch atah Adonai, Haporei sukat shalom aleinu, V'al kol amo Yisrael, V'al Yerushalayim. Top of 46. V'shamro v'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat la'asot et ha-Shabbat ledorotam berit olam beini uvein b'nei Yisrael oti li'olam oti li'olam oti li'olam v'shamro v'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat la'asot et ha-Shabbat ledorotam berit olam ki sheshet yamim asa Adonai et ha-shamayim v'et ha'aretz v'shamro v'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat la'asot et ha-Shabbat ledorotam berit olam v'ayom hashvi Shabbat vayinafash Shabbat vayinafash Shabbat vayinafash v'shamro v'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat la'asot et ha-Shabbat ledorotam berit olam. Rising the quiet Amida. The traditional text, page 47 through 52. The traditional text, pages 47 through 52, or an opportunity for a few moments of silent, private meditation or reflection. Turning to page number 51, you see a little paragraph entitled The Seventh Bracha. A bracha is a blessing. And the word blessing in Hebrew, in Jewish life, has a number of different meanings. Literally, when you say, Baruch atah Eloheinu melech haolam, that's a bracha, that's a blessing. It's a prayer, but it's a blessing. It's very specific. A blessing is a prayer that has the words, blessed are you, Lord our God, in it. A blessing is also, as Louis Armstrong sang earlier, a beautiful world that we live in. Your place, my place, our role in bringing life, friendship, love, companionship, support, honor, caring, all those are brachot, blessings. The concluding bracha of the Shabbat prayer is always a prayer for a blessing, calling out God. Bringing shalom to the world is a bracha. And so looking at this, the translit on page 51, or the Hebrew, as Meir Finkelstein plays it's the Shalom Rav. It's blessing, it's Shalom Rav. It's by Meir Finkelstein. He's a well-known cantor. He's very well-known, Meir Finkelstein. It is the Shalom Rav piece. May there be great peace in our world today.
Shalom Rav al Yisrael Amcha Tasim leolam. 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 Ki ata hu melech Adam lechol hashalom. Ki ata hu melech Adam lechol hashalom. Shalom Rav al Yisrael Amcha Tasim leolam. Shalom Rav al Yisrael Amcha Tasim leolam. וטוב בעיניך לברך את עמך ישראל בכל עת ובכל שעה בשלומך. שלום רב על ישראל עמך תשים לעולם. Shalom Rav al Yisrael Amcha Tasim leolam. Shalom Rav al Yisrael Amcha Tasim leolam. Shalom Rav al Yisrael Amcha Tasim leolam. Tasim leolam, tasim leolam, tasim leolam. Shalom Rav al Yisrael Amcha.
Tודה, Gadiel. I often hear in American exchanges of conversation, it's a free country. And when I hear these phrases, sometimes in my own experience or perhaps on television or in sources of communication and media, I take it that the speaker is saying, I can do whatever the heck I want. Whatever the heck, whatever the Hell I want, it's a free country. Being in a free country doesn't mean that if you own a boat and you're chugging along a river and you see an open space at a dock, that without investigating, you can just berth your boat there. You need to investigate. Maybe that slip or that berth rightly belongs to someone else. Being in a free country doesn't mean that I can just drive my car up onto somebody else's lawn or park in front of his or her driveway or in front of the sidewalk without permission. Being in a free country doesn't mean that I can walk into a crowded theater and shout fire. Being in a free country, and this is where I and the Supreme Court disagree, doesn't mean that I can walk out into public space and shout any type of profanity or offensive language. I'm still waiting for a phone call. I may not be getting a phone call from the Supreme Court anytime soon, but being in a free country means that you and I have to recognize that there are 330 million other people besides you and me that share this air, that share the trees, that share the ground, and there's no way in God's imagination that 330 million people who are bound to be thinking differently are going to be able to do the exact whatever they want, and everybody else is going to be fine. There has to be some element of authority, of a central voice. And I also look at the world through Jewish eyes. And this is on my mind because a little bit of the prayer service and also because of something that's going on in tomorrow's Torah reading. Tomorrow's Torah reading, by the way, we win the lottery. It's not 155 million or zillion dollars in the lottery. Tomorrow is something else we win the lottery. Tomorrow, the Jewish people find out that they're going into their own land, where they're going to be a free people. After 210 years of slavery and after 40 years of wandering in the wilderness, they are right on the doorstep and they're going to walk into the land. And Moses says to the people of Israel, by the way, you can't do whatever you want. The exact phrase is that a person can do whatever he or she feels is right in his or her own eyes. You can't do that. I'm thinking about the people of Israel. 210 years of enslavement, controlled by a military and political power that was not their own. They're walking in the wilderness for the first time, and they're looking around, tens of thousands of people, hundreds of thousands of people. Egypt is behind them. And if hundreds of thousands of people say, I can do whatever the heck I want, that's not freedom. It's anarchy. The same way that if there are 330 million Americans walking around saying, I can do whatever the heck I want, that's not freedom. It's anarchy. And after stepping out into the wilderness, the people of Israel gather at a mountain, and they're given rules to live by. And some of those rules are between themselves and their family members, their friends, their neighbors, strangers, between themselves and God. And now, 40 years later, as they're literally at passport control, ready to go into the promised land, Moses recaps some of those regulations and laws and adds a few more, reminding the people that when they walk into the promised land, they're building a society. And each person is going to be living in his or her own location, but each person is going to have neighbors, family members, friends, acquaintances, strangers, people whom they've never met before. And they can't live and do whatever anybody wants to do in his or her own eyes. There has to be some type of rule, regulation. That's how they're going to build a society. Building a society is the lottery. It's not 1.55 billion. It's not lots of zeros at the end of an annuity contract. It's having the maturity and the responsibility of looking at my daily life and understanding that I matter. And so do you, and so do you, and so does he, and so does she, and do all of them. And how am I willing to learn from my past mistakes to make the today and the tomorrow better for me and for everyone else? That's what it means to be living as free people within a beautiful society which we're all building together. And when I think about it in those terms, which is a bridge point between Passover, Shavuot, Rosh Hashanah, and Yom Kippur, I realize what a gift it is to be able to build a free society based upon respecting others and self-respect also. And that's a gift from Jewish life to we, the Jewish people. And to a certain extent, it's also a gift to anyone else who's interested in learning about what it means to live as a free person. May we live freely, doing that which is right, not in my own eyes, but in the eyes of something much grander than myself, recognizing with humility the power of limitation and the beauty that I can bring forth. We rise for the Aleinu. Aleinu is on page number 56. Aleinu l'shabeach ladon hakol latet gedula liotzer breshit shelo asanu k'goyei aratzot velo samanu k'mishpachot adama shelo sam chelkeinu kahem v'gor aleinu kechol hamonam v'anachnu korim umishtachavim umodim lifnei melech malchei hamlochim hakadosh baruch hu shehu noteh shamayim yosed haaretz umoshav yekaro bashamayim mimal ushchinatu zo begavei meromim hu Eloheinu ein od emet malkeinu efes zulatom kakatu b'torato v'yadata yom v'ashevota elabavecha ki Adonai hua Elohim b'shamayim mimal v'al haaretz mitachat ein od. Kakatu b'toratecha Adonai yimloch l'olam va'ed v'nemar b'haya Adonai lemelech al kol haaretz bayom hahu yihyeh Adonai echad Ushema echad. In a moment, Mourner's Kaddish on page number 58. On this Shabbos, we remember with great love Evelyn Jacoby, Lawrence Siff, Morris Layden, Rebecca Loeb, Rose Kramer, Larry Hirsch, Rachel Luderman, Lawrence A. Gibson, Harry Hamonoff, Noah Lipkin, Henry Gutlow, Adolf Rossner, David Reiner, Leela Simon, Jacob Novoselsky, Anna Gollum, Paul Aaron Liebeskind, Rose Schwartz, Tema Silberman, Joan Berger. Are there any other names to mention this evening? Kaddish is on page 58. Yitgadal v'yitkadash shemei Rabbah ba'olma divrach yirutei b'mlich malchutei b'chayechon v'yomechon v'chay l'chol beit Yisrael ba'agala v'zman kariv yimeru Amen. Yehi shmei Rabbah mavarach le'olam olamei almaya yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitromam v'yitnaseh v'yithadar v'yitaleh v'yitalal shmei dekudusha b'richu Leila min kol berchata v'shirata tushbachata v'nechamata da'amiran ba'alma v'imru Amen. Yehi shaloma rabo min shmaya v'chayim aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'imru Amen. Oseh shalom b'mromav hu ya'aseh shalom aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'imru Amen. Al Kol Yisrael. We say it twice in the mourner's Kaddish. When a mourner is saying Kaddish, when the community is responding and offering encouragement and listening, the individual or individuals and the community are sharing a common focus. And the focus is always thinking about the entirety of everyone else. And that gives us strength and energy and encouragement. A couple of short announcements, and we'll conclude with a song. On the song sheet, it's Never Walk Alone by Ross Levy. In just a moment, we'll be singing that together. It's Never Walk Alone. It's called Tefillat Derech, which literally means the prayer for the safe journey, but symbolically, it refers to just our life journey, but it could refer to walking out the door, never walk alone. It's that same theme from the Kaddish, you might say. If you're reading the emails that just went out today, we just learned of something kind of fun and exciting. There's going to be a movie entitled Golda, and it's a Hollywood production. It's going to be at the AMC theaters on Schillinger, August 23rd, 4th, 5th, 6th for about 5, 6, 7 days. It's a major motion picture. We just learned about it, and the Federation's going to be sharing news about it in the temple as well. So if you're interested in seeing a movie about Golda as Prime Minister, it's Helen Mirren. And the scene of which the movie is focused, or upon which the movie is focused, is Golda Meir during the Yom Kippur War in 73. And it's a big movie. So it's going to be at Schillinger Road. I don't know the dates yet. We're just going to have to Google and find out. AMC Schillinger. I don't know. We got an email today from a publicist, you might say. Blind email. So we'll just see. So that's that. And also announcing, still working the 0.1% detail, but everything's finalized. When it comes to Slichot, which is going to be September 9th, Saturday night, we're going to have 3 short movies here, and the producer of the movie, who lives in Montgomery, will be here talking about the movies. We'll have some nosh, and we'll have a very brief Slichot. So we've got Summer at the Movies at Ahavas Chesed and extended beyond. So, pardon me? We have an Israeli ship, and the Israeli ship will be sailing back to Israel within the next 2 to 3 weeks or so. So, pretty cool for Mobile, Alabama. Mm-hmm. We'll conclude with the song Never Walk Alone by Ross Levy.
by side, soul by soul, may we someday all come to know. May the waves of health and joy reach the hearts of each girl and boy, from now through forever. That God has given us, and may we always be happy and free. Every step you take it safely, and in every stride, find joy and pride. Walk the road alone, and may we always be sheltered in peace. Adonai oz le'amo yiteh. Adonai oz le'amo May we never walk the road alone. May we always be sheltered in peace. Sheltered in peace.
Shabbat Shalom. To all those joining in, we look forward to seeing you in person and not too long from now. We just need you back. Litro, until we see each other soon, may God bless you and know that you're